Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to Gracie's Garden. Happy New Year. So I thought today I would show you all the plants I purchased in the month of December, and then show you a little bit planty stuff of what I've been doing throughout the week, and then show you a little bit around the garden. Here in Florida, we still have quite a few things in bloom. I'm in zone 9A, and just kind of show you what's been going on in the garden. All right, so we'll begin. So this is one of the plants I purchased this month. It's a cypress, and I purchased this at Walmart. All the plants after Christmas were 50% off. We were getting ready to have a freeze here in Florida, and the Walmart I went to, the garden center, there's no covering, there's no windbreaks, everything is outside, so it's an older Walmart. So they just put everything on clearance, 50% off. So from $12.97, 13 bucks, about $7 or so. So got the pretty cypress. Comes in a little container. It was very dry when I got it, and I know cypresses take a lot of water, so we'll have to keep water on that one a lot. Then the next one I got was this one. And this one was also 50% off. Was $7.98, but it rang up about $6. This is about $14 originally, $15 originally. And I believe this is a Ficus Audrey. So it has a lot of water stains on the leaves, but otherwise in good shape. And I bought this plant the day that there was a freeze, and then I forgot about it and left it in the yard, and it made it through the freeze anyways. So it's a hardy plant, if nothing else. So, yep. And of course it comes in this little fake terracotta plastic pot. And can't get the plastic insert pot to come out, but it is very root bound. But I'm quite happy with that. I've been looking for one of those for a while. The next plant I got was at Lowe's, which was this. And it comes in a little basket. It was originally about $15, and so it rang up $7.50 or so. Usually these trees have so much glitter on it, and they just spray paint them with glitter, and I was glad this one didn't. It's kind of all natural. Has a lot of new growth coming out on it, so I was quite happy to have this. And then the last plant I purchased was from Lowe's. This is not 50% off, and it is the Pink Princess. So this is the most variegated leaf in the whole thing. And the tag doesn't say Pink Princess on it, but I've been seeing online where everybody says these are the Pink Princesses. It does have the Pink Princess leaf. There's 3 plants in there, and it has a lot of new growth, a lot of leaves that are unfurling. Here's one, another one, there's one in the back. So hopefully I can get the variegation to come out a little bit more. The leaves are very dirty, like water spots and things like that. So I'm going to give it a good clean. I just got this yesterday. It was $20. So there's a lot of new leaves that have come out recently. This one looks like it might have a little bit more of that pink variegation on it. So we'll have to wait and see on that one. So I'm quite happy I was able to find one of those. Usually I'm in a pretty small town, so we don't usually get a whole lot of the plants that all the other stores seem to get. So I was quite happy with that. Alright, I'll go ahead and show you guys around the garden, show you what is in bloom. And if you could, while we're doing that, go ahead and hit like and subscribe and turn on notifications so you can catch me in follow-up videos. Alright, let's go check out the garden. So the first thing I want to show you is this here. So in one of my previous videos, I did a little bit about this plant. It's called a cup of gold or chalice plant. So it gets these long tubular flowers, probably about 4 or 5 inches long, the flowers. they're yellow, and then after the flower it turns into one of these little pear shapes, and these will dry out and just have tons of seeds in it. Though this plant is really easy to propagate. I'll show you here. You can see here it just gets these little nubbins, and you can little aerial roots like this, and you just cut it here, plop it in the ground, and the plant will grow. It did get a little frost on it, but just thought that'd be interested to show you. Not all of the yellow flowers will turn into this, just the ones, actually I don't know the reason why, but just some of them will, but not all of them. So, and they're pretty hard, pretty solid. So another plant that's in bloom is this bromeliad. And as you can see here, it has this beautiful red spike. There's two of them on this plant. The other one's pretty spent, but this one is pretty fresh. And just really adds a lot of color, a lot of texture to the garden. A lot of winter interest, if you will, for Florida. And just beautiful. And here's the monstera that's next to it, and it has a new leaf coming out. Not really a flower, but just still beautiful nonetheless, how green that is. And then this is the fire stick plant, or firecracker plant, and it gets all these yellowish white flowers on it. I think a lot of people see the white fire stick plant, which I can show you in a minute, but the yellow ones are always unique to me. And here is the red fire stick plant, or firecracker plant. I think this is the one that people see most commonly. And this one is as tall as the roof of the house. It needs to be cut back, but I'll do that after it's done blooming. And another plant is the castor plant. Here's a good leaf, a fresh leaf. And it did get hit with the freeze a little bit, but it is in bloom. And these will turn into little yellow flowers. And these do have seeds in it. And it is putting on a lot of new growth already since the frost. And the plumbago is also in bloom. Though this is really kind of always in bloom all year round. And then here is kind of a crazy find. My neighbor up the street is moving out, and they threw this in the trash. So I brought it home, just a rubber tree plant. A nice one, a nice pot. Was just one of those lightweight fake terracotta pots. It does have a little bit of frost damage on it, which is I assume why they were thrown out, but I'm just going to cut it back. And I think I'm actually going to take this plant out of the pot and plant it in the ground. There's Orange Cat looking at us. Hey, Noodles. Okay, he doesn't care. But I do have a rubber tree plant already that has more of a red tone to it, where this has a little bit more of a coppery tone to it. So I thought this would be a nice addition. I think I'm going to plant this in the backyard. So I know it looks a little sad, but this is the bleeding heart plant. It's lost all of its leaves, but it's still blooming. The frost just took all the leaves from it, but the flowers are going on and living on and still coming out strong. So still in bloom, still looking beautiful. And this is the other rubber tree plant that I originally have. So this has more of that ruby tone to it. And it's doing fine. Did get a little frost damage to it. I forgot to cover the side of the garden for some reason. But it's still going strong. Has a new leaf here, it looks like. It has a lot of overhang from the plants around it, so it should recover just fine. And of course, the Christmas cactus is looking good. And a lot of blooms are spent, but there's a lot of new ones coming out. These ferns, unfortunately, I have to keep pulling out. They are a nuisance, and I know they'll just take over the whole pot eventually. But it is looking good. So I'll show you a little bit of what's been going on. So I've cut down quite a bit in the backyard. It is a hot mess. weeded out tall plants, and they are all just laying here. With the hurricanes, it was kind of hard. A lot of projects were just put on pause. So now that everything's done with the hurricane, and our trash pickup and lawn clipping, our yard waste is now back on schedule with the city. I'll start dragging all this out and cutting it into manageable pieces. So that is the project right now. It looks thinned out a lot. So it has been quite a project and a lot of hard work, but it's good exercise, I guess. So a lot of this I was going to burn, but we're not allowed to burn right now. It's weirdly dry after the hurricane, and we haven't had any rain since the hurricane. So in my area at least. So this is the upcoming project, getting the backyard under control, at least this back corner under control. And because I kind of want to put a little garden over on this side, like a flower garden, wildflower meadow. And then on the back side over here, put a vegetable garden in this section back here along the fence line, so that there's no trees growing up or any tall plants that would affect the power lines. Because the city or the power company will come back and just chop everything that's by the power lines. So that is the plan. Right now we're just in a maintenance cleanup area. It's January 1st, so it's like 93 degrees today in Florida. So it is hot. I'm sweating like crazy, but it's kind of hard to do this work when it's so hot. But it's like last week we were freezing temperatures. This week we're burning hot again. So haven't found that happy balance yet for Florida. It's coming though. So, oh, there's a little cardinal up there. Okay, well, that is the project for the coming week. It's supposed to be in the 80s, 90s all week. So this is what I'll be working on. Cleaning this out. And just getting this little bit of maintenance under control. And I guess this is part of my plant New Year's resolution, is to finally get the backyard under some semi-balance of control and get things cleared up. My brother came and helped me clear up this area a little bit. I know it doesn't really look like it, but trust me, it's been thinned out a lot. And this tree here, this one here, is going to be the next tree that is taken out. It's growing the power lines. It is got wires going through it, so it just really needs to be lopped back. It's a rain tree too, so it's the one that puts off all these babies down here. So, or sometimes they're called rain trees or Chinese lantern trees. It gets those really pretty red and yellow flowers on it, or little pockets of seeds, and all these seeds just create all these babies. So the tree is a little bit of a nuisance. So that's probably my biggest New Year's resolution, is to get this cleared up. Even if I don't get gardens planted or planted how I want, I mean, that can come in coming years or months, but the cleanup is the biggest thing. And then I guess my other thing is to just try to get everything repaired, like there was damage to the fence from a tree growing through it, and just kind of minor things like that, and just maintain it. Alright, that is my biggest New Year's resolution. What is your plant New Year's resolution? Go ahead and comment that down below. And I'm going to show you some videos of what I did this week, so that is coming up next.